Reduce all fractions to lowest terms. We want to subtract these two fractions. Now these two fractions are not like fractions, okay? To make them like, we have to have the same denominator, okay? Which means we need to have a common denominator for the 6 and the 7. So we want the least common multiple of 6 and 7, which are the two denominators here. All right? Least common multiple, and we'll have a little grid here, and we'll put the denominator 6 and 7 right here. Now, my directions for this are pretty simple. What I want to do is I want to find the smallest prime number, which will divide evenly into either the 6 or the 7. Okay? Now, what is the smallest prime number that will divide into 6? 2 is a prime number. It will divide evenly into 6. 1 will go into 6, but 1 is not a prime number. So we're looking for the smallest prime number that will divide into any one of the numbers, namely the 6. 2 is the smallest prime number, divides into 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now you say, well, 2 doesn't go into 7. Well, I don't care. Now don't throw away the 7. We'll use the 7 in a minute. But right now, we're trying to get rid of the 6, which we did with the number 2. So 2 becomes one of my answers. Now, we have my two new numbers, 3 and 7. What is the smallest prime number that will go into 3? Or 7? Turns out, if we divide 3 by 3, it will get rid of this 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. You say, well, 3 doesn't go into 7. I don't care. We got rid of this 3, and this is my next answer. Okay? What do I do with the 7? Don't throw it away. Okay? Now the directions. What is the smallest prime number that will go into 1? You say, well, 1 goes into 1, but 1's not prime. We'll move over to the 7 then. What's the smallest prime number that will go into 7? Well, 2 doesn't go into 7, neither does 3, not evenly. 7 is the smallest prime number, goes into 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Now don't throw away this 1. Bring it down. But this 7 divided by this 7 is 1. Now when you get 1, 1, we're not going to divide by any more prime numbers. So these are my three answers, 2, 3, and 7. 2, 3, and 7. And when you multiply these, you get the least common multiple. Let's see. 2 times 3. 6 times 7. This is the least common multiple for 6 and 7. Okay, now how do I use this? I use this 42 to make these like fractions, make these into like fractions. Draw a little bit bigger, put my 42 down here for the like fraction denominator. 42 is common denominator, least common denominator for 6 and 7. Now we have to make, let's copy these two fractions down one more time, give myself some space to write. 7 times what is 42? 42 divided by 7 is 6. So 7 times 6 is 42. 3 times 6, we'll do that in a minute. We'll get our 18 in a minute. Right now I'm going to make the 6 into 42. 42 divided by this 6 is 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. 1 times 7 is 7. Go back. 3 times 6 is 18. You multiplied 7 times 6 to get 42. 3 times 6 is 18. 6 times 7 is 42. 1 times 7 is 7. Now what kind of fractions do I have here? Common denominator 42, that makes these like fractions. And when you subtract like fractions, I get a like fraction. And we get it by combining the 18 and the negative 7. Okay? All right, so we have our 42. 18 minus 7 is 11. And that's already simplified.